Welcome to the Openhand Shift Diaries, an informal viewpoint on the consciousness shift. And for this one, I thought we'd talk about the concept of transmutation. What is that? And how can we apply it to help us unravel, unfold on the spiritual journey? Everything is of consciousness, of energy. And what that means is it's not fixed and rigid. And so it has the capacity to change and transform. That includes everything. It includes my physical body. It includes ideas, beliefs. It includes emotions, feelings, anxiety, any of these things, anything, any kind of distortion that might come up. It is merely consciousness and not fixed in time or space. The problem is, the challenge is that often mind forms judgments of those things and aspects and phenomena that it experiences in the outside world. And so then fixates on an idea of what it's about. So it fixates on the idea of what my body is, what its feelings are, what its needs, requirements are. Take, for example, hunger. If I get hungry, what does that do inside, internally? Do I get tight? Do I get nervous? Does it shape my behaviorisms now for what I must do, or I think I must do? Same goes for injury or an accident or illness, something like this. The risk, the chance is that I fixate on the idea and the consequences of what's taken place. And if I do that, then I'm limiting myself. I'm limiting my consciousness. I mean, even if I take this body, and if I take all of the space from between the particles out, there isn't enough matter to fit on a pinhead. And even that is only energy vibrating at a certain frequency. It is consciousness, and therefore can change. The challenge is when I condemn reality to a particular idea or concept about what it is, and then slip into repetitive behavior patterns that are designed to placate my judgment about this and this reality. Take, for example, labels such as father, mother, brother, sister, wife, husband. Take, for example, the label of friend even, and colleague, and all these kinds of labels which people would attach to us. And then from those labels, an expectation of how we should behave. And the risk is, if we take them on inside and we take on that obligation, if you like, then again, we're fixating, we're condemning the soul to rigid and limited behavior patterns. It retards our ability to evolve, to raise vibration, to shift consciousness into the higher paradigm. So the key is to apply the process of transformation or transmutation to unleash soul through that density, through the experiences of our lives. Because it's not about distancing from those experiences, because in those experiences I will find nuggets of soul gold, if you like, aspects of beingness that have got stuck in the density. And so what my soul is working to do is to liberate the fragments of soul gold from that density. What this means is that if I have some form of distortion, distorted behavior pattern that I'm expressing out into the world, then rather than just simply ditching it and throwing the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak, what I'm invited to do is instead get right into it, because the soul will have fragmented into those experiences. And I need to come into the experiences and liberate those fragments, to realign them, reintegrate them, just as we've explored and expressed in the Openhand breakthrough approach. It's about fully embracing your experience, embracing the truth of what's going on, honoring and expressing the experience, coming into it, accepting it to the degree that you don't need it to go away, and as you do that, you're already becoming the one in it. You're already liberating yourself from the experience, from the limitation of the experience. And this, in effect, is transmutation, because it unleashes soul through the experience. I'm freed from the conditioning, the limitations of that old patterning. Now, this is very incredibly invaluable. It's priceless. It's priceless in many aspects. Firstly, I don't have to think that I've literally got to dump or drop the shadow side, because in the shadow side are these priceless gifts. And in the spiritual mainstream, often the tendency is to want to just drop the shadow aspect of myself and simply express the bright side or the light side, if you like. And this in itself is limiting, because this forms an attachment, a judgment about what that is. What I'm looking instead to do is to integrate the aligned aspect of the shadow side and find authentic, natural behaviorisms of the soul through all experience. Now, this comes with a great sense of peace when you think about it, because it means that you don't just have to ditch the shadow side of yourself. There's nothing wrong with the shadow side, because it is a distortion, it is an expression, a distorted expression of the soul. And therefore, there is soul in it. And if I can get deep into that experience, I can change, transmute the behaviorism into something aligned and authentic. So I'm not pressurized with the sense of something is right and something is wrong, something is good and bad, and that I must somehow drop or distance myself from that which might be in my shadow side. Instead, I turn into it, I embrace it, I work with it, and I look for aligned behavior in it. What is aligned behavior? What is the distortion? How will I know? Firstly, the distortion is going to feel tight. When you express, it's going to get tight in the mind, it's going to get tight in the emotions. I might feel anxiety. It'll even feel tight in my body, maybe the solar plexus, maybe around my head, the temples or the third eye, for example. Maybe get tight in my throat, something like that. So when I experience these things, it's a sure sign that I am in distortion. I am in distorted behavior patterns. And also, signs and synchronicity in the outside world are going to reflect that back to me too. Signs and synchronicity don't just reflect the light side or what we might consider the joyful. It's time to go to Machu Picchu, for example. It's not just about that. It's about that maybe my shadow side is expressing into the world, and the reflections are coming back. By the law of attraction, I'm drawing engagements with people and situations which reflect internally through feelings, through tightness, those distorted behavior patterns. And it's essential not to just drop those. By getting into them and working into them, I can start to liberate soul. And how is aligned behavior then going to feel? Well, it's going to feel more expansive. It's going to feel freer, more in the flow. And now you start to get synchronicities clicking in to support you moving forwards, as opposed to previously limiting you. It's going to feel expansive, interconnected, more free. This is when we know soul is really coming through. That it doesn't matter too much if people don't necessarily support or respond positively. If you feel those experiences, look for the feedback loop coming back to you, perhaps in other sources too. Maybe in nature, for example. How does it feel when you look up into the sky, or feel the breeze, or the landscape around you? How does that feel? Maybe you hear the song of a bird or something like this. And it speaks into your soul, and you know you're in aligned behavior. So transmutation then is the progressive confrontation of that which would limit me, my distortions, felt as tightness, and the progressive transmutation by getting into accepting totally, honoring the expression, and becoming so at one with the expression that you become the one in it. Then you are looking to liberate this unraveled, unfolding, new expression of soul. It's going to feel aligned, connected, expansive. That then is the general process of transmutation that we can apply in all walks of life. And we can begin it now. All we need to do is pick up a thread of experience, notice, feel into it, express it, and realize that I now need to work to transmute that behaviorism into something more aligned. In this way, life becomes much more productive, creative, more alchemical, more transformational. There's a progressive liberation and a real joy and freedom with that. It's like you don't close down necessarily when you experience something on the shadow side. You embrace it and work with it. You don't just throw it away or feel somehow there's something wrong with you, because we all have them. Everyone, even people in enlightened states, will feel some kind of compression, contraction as they go into density. And even then, it's about unfolding, unwinding, expressing soul through it. So transmutation then is essential to the spiritual path, to enlightenment, to the shift itself. I also felt that I would share with you a meditation that we often apply, we often use in the Openhand work, called the Openhand bow, which is taken from Kriya Yoga, a process which is hundreds, perhaps thousands of years old. And the bow is all about embracing, recognizing, feeling, and honoring the tightness that you might be experiencing, and then bowing into it so it actually maximizes, intensifies the discomfort. Now, this might seem counterproductive, but actually it's not. Because if we intensify the feeling, then there's the opportunity to surrender even deeper. You really make sure that you've totally accepted the tightness. You come right into it and soften right through it. And then as you come up, as you expand out, then you'll feel this incredible liberation of soul as you unravel, unwind, feel the integration of soul then coming through. So I felt to share this bow with you, for you to practice and work with when you experience density. So it begins with a few moments of inhale, hold, exhale. So we're inhaling up through the body, relaxing, up through the head, up above the crown. And we hold the breath, feel the expansion, and breathe the sense of lightness, expansion down through the body. A few moments of what I call breakthrough breathing. Inhale up, hold, exhale down, hold, witnessing. Now, up to the crown. Inhale, hold. Bend softly forwards. Bend into the tightness. Feel the tightness. Soften in. Inhale, hold. Right ear toward the right knee. Left ear toward the sky. Inhale up. Exhale down through the left side of the head, the left side of the body. Feel the tightness, whatever you might be experiencing, and soften right in. Inhale, hold. Left ear toward the left knee, right ear toward the sky. Inhale up. Exhale down through the right side of the head and the right side of the body. Feel the tightness. Soften in. Relax, unwind, letting go. Inhale, hold. To the center. Deep breathing. Inhale up, hold. Exhale down, hold. Witnessing, feeling, softening deeper. Relaxing right in. Inhale, hold. Sit softly upright. Feel the unwinding, expansion, the letting go. Progressive transmutation transforms our experience, transforms our emotions, our relationships, the way we think, how we apply ourselves in life. It progressively allows the infusion of soul and brings us into harmony, interconnectivity with the universe. I thoroughly commend it to you. Wish you well. Namaste.